Elena Kosakavich is with us from Tunkhannock. The 11, 12-year-olds made it to the World Series. Let's talk a little bit about the experience for you. What this whole last couple of months has been like.
It has been completely amazing. It's hard to describe because it's like you're so excited. There's
a lot of energy, I'm sure.
There is.
Let's talk first about when you're playing the regular games, the local games, before you went out to the state and then the eastern regions and all that other stuff. Talk about what it was like. Did you feel like this team had something special?
Yeah, I realized that when he first got all of us to our first practice, I was like, we are gonna go to we're gonna go to the states, we're gonna win it, we are gonna go far beyond there, because I just saw it.
What do you like about this team? Let's talk about the friendships you formed, and everybody getting along is a big factor.
Yes, we all get along very, very well. Of course, there's some groups, but we all just get along very well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your involvement with volleyball. You like that, and you like dance. So
yeah.
Talk about staying busy.
Yes. I've been so busy with softball, I haven't been really doing volleyball. So yesterday was my first practice, and it was fun.
All right. And you have a brother, Hunter, who's 12.
Yes.
Talk about what he's up to.
He's doing football. So he went from baseball to watching me do softball, now football.
So other than softball, when you went to Portland, Oregon, talk a little bit about what else you did out there to try to relax or have some fun.
Well, we all had pizza parties. We would go out, explore the city. We went down to the pier to just see it. That was fun.
Let's talk about your mom, your dad, and your brother and why they inspire you. You look up to them. And
my dad is always so hardworking, and so is my mom. And my brother's always cheering, he's always cheering someone on. I like that about him.
All right, Elena. Well, great to catch up with you. Congratulations. What a fantastic year.
Thank you.
Ella McNeff is with us from Tunkhannock, representing the East and playing in the World Series for Tunkhannock. You're going into 8th grade. Let's talk a little bit about your experience with softball, what this has been like.
Softball this year was amazing. It's been my whole summer, so I haven't really had a summer besides softball, and I'm glad I got to spend it playing softball.
Let's talk about your bond with these girls that go karting out west. Seemed like it was a fun time.
Yeah, when we were in Portland, we did a lot of things, we ate out together, and then at one point when we went to the beach, after that we went go-karting with, I think, not the whole team was there, but most of them were there.
Let's talk about the local businesses and people here in your community that helped supported you to go on the trip. That was challenging.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of fundraisers, and the community was so kind to us by giving us all the money and things that they gave us.
Well, it's great that you had that support. Let's talk about your support at home, people that care about you and root you on.
My parents and my whole family, they have been probably the most loving family.
Yelling for you, rooting you on, encouraging you, all those things?
Even though my family, half of my family couldn't come to Portland, they were sending me videos of them watching me at home.
That's awesome. Let's talk about your cousin Whitney, somebody you look up to. Tell us a little bit why you look up to her and what she's doing.
I don't have any siblings, so I've spent my whole life with Whitney and her daughter Addison. So I stay up at her house a lot. So she's like my sister.
Awesome. Language arts is something you enjoy in school. Reading, so talk a little bit about what kind of books you like to read.
I like reading long books if I have to read them.
And you do well in school with high honor, so talk a little bit about the fun that you have with your classmates, and you're always trying to get good grades.
I'm in the gifted program at school, so my mom always has to make sure that I do my homework and things like that.
Well, you're pretty gifted on the softball field as well. Congratulations on a sensational year.
Thank you.
Paige Marvell joins us here from Tunkhannock about the Little League Softball World Series. Of course, Tunkhannock representing the East. And what's this experience been like for you the last couple months?
It's been amazing. It's been so much fun to play with everybody and play against people. Let's
talk a little bit about your team and the talent that you have on this team all over the diamond. There's really no weak spots, right?
Yeah, everybody's just all-around players, and they're good at everything that they do.
Watching you at third base, you look pretty comfortable down there. Talk about your toughness, where that comes from.
I played football for 5 years, so I'm used to being getting hit and having to be tough. So I'm just kind of used to it.
Talk about some of the ups and downs of softball, or times where you're down a few runs, you come back, and what that was like with your nerves.
My nerves were really crazy those couple months. Sometimes we'd be down and then we'd come back up and it'd be like amazing, but then we'd just be down and we couldn't come back and it would be like heartbreaking.
Well, a lot of times you showed your poker face, including that championship game. You were still trying to encourage your teammates. Talk a little bit about just trying to take it all in and say, you know what, who knows, we can do this. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep fighting until the end. And if we come up short, we come up short, but we're going to keep giving it our all.
Yeah, it was really hard to hold your emotions back in that, but I had to do what I had to do for the team, try and keep them up.
Football right now is on the shelf. Basketball is something that you do as well. What do you like about basketball?
I just like playing. I like having fun with all my teammates and shooting. Not so much running, but
jamming out in the car, a team bonding thing. So like, who's driving? How many of the girls are in the car when you're kind of having some fun?
When we used to carpool to the games, we'd have our coach Jason drive, and he would always play his like pump up music on his thing. Like the whole car would be full of kids.
All right. Is Jason pumping up, was he singing the songs as well, or was it most of the girls? All right, cool. Let's talk about your brother Nick, what he's up to.
He plays football and wrestling, but mostly now he's into football and he plays a lot of video games.
You like history, you're high honor, so you're a good student. Talk about being dedicated to make sure you do a good job in the classroom.
Well, I know if I don't do a good job, my dad will be very mad at me, so...
Your dad and all dads like us, we get that way. That's awesome to hear that he's on you to make sure you stay straight. Let's talk about a role model, Sydney Romero.
She's a third baseman at Oklahoma, and I got that video from her while we were out there, and it was just so cool. I couldn't believe it.
Well, that's cool that you look up to somebody like that, and it was an incredible run, Paige. Congratulations, and it's great to catch up with you.
Thank you.
Kay Hanna, join us from Tunkhannock. You're the pitcher. Let's talk a little bit about what it was like to be you. A lot of nerves, I'm sure, every game, but you seem to do a pretty good job of holding them off.
I try.
Talk a little bit about your team behind you and your defense.
My team has a very, very strong defense, so they'll pick me up like no matter how well I pitch.
Let's talk about your arm. You sore after all those games the last couple of months?
No.
You still feel like you can pitch a little more?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your approach to pitching and the coaching that you get there. Is it just your dad? Do you have another coach?
I have a pitching coach. I actually have two. They're Brooke and Terry Darling.
And talk a little bit about what you learned from them.
They just taught me like the mechanics and all the basics pitching, and they taught me like all the spins for my pitches.
You're headed into 8th grade.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what you like about school.
I like the teachers. I like being able to see my friends.
So you like basketball as well?
Yeah.
And how serious are you about that?
I play all through the winter. I play for our school team, but I don't play travel or anything like I do for softball.
You have a couple siblings, Mackenzie and Kiana. Tell us about both of them.
They come to all of our games, and they're like my biggest fans.
It's great to have them. Let's talk about language arts. What you like about that? You're in high honor, so you do a good job in the classroom.
I like to read a lot.
And of course, down the road, you're thinking about maybe physical therapy in college?
Yeah.
Awesome. And talk about your relationship with your dad and why you look up to him.
He's always been like my #1 fan. He's always coached me, and he's always been like my catcher.
All right. Well, that's a lot of hours that you and Dad have put in, along with the pitching coaches. Kay, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Emily Patton joins us from Tunkhannock. Emily, let's talk about what position you play.
I play right field.
And talk about some of the other outfielders that play with you. Who's in center? Who's in left?
Elena Koskavich is in center, and Aaron Van Ness is in left.
And talk a little bit about the fun that you had, the run with you and your teammates.
It was definitely an unforgettable experience for me. It was my first year playing All-Stars, and it was really exciting.
So you're headed into 6th grade. Let's talk a little bit about what you like about school.
I like reading and math.
Cool. And you're on the high honor roll, so you're doing a great job there. Boy, you have a big family. Take us through that whole family of yours.
Okay, I have a little brother Jimmy, he's 8. I have a
sister Ella, who is 15. I have a sister Sarah, who is 20. I have a sister Lindsay, who's 21, and a sister Crystal, who is 22.
Wow, that is awesome. So I bet you had a big cheering section, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. What was it like going out west? Talk about that experience of going out there and, you know, going to the beach and, you know, meeting some new people, going to some different places.
Yeah, it was really fun. We went to where they cast the Goonies, that beach, and it was really cool.
Let's talk about life after high school. It's a million years away right now, but you'd like to be a veterinarian?
Yeah, I'd like to go to school and be a veterinarian.
That's pretty cool. And talk about travel softball, what you do there or where you play.
Last softball was Tunkhannock pretty much, and I really like it.
All right, well, congratulations, Emily. What a fantastic year. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Juliana Root joins us. She's going into 8th grade here at Tunkhannock, and let's talk a little bit about playing outfield with some of the other girls. So what you like about it?
Well, it's just really fun running and like calling the ball.
Talk about the team overall and the talent that you have. There's a lot of defensive talent. There's a lot of offensive talent. I guess that's why you made it to the World Series, right?
Yes.
How about the fun along the way? Talk about some of the trips that you had.
We went to a lot of different places, like out to eat after a win, going and seeing the view when we were in the Little League World Series. Kind of.
You like swimming and volleyball?
Yes.
Talk about what events you like in swimming, or do you just like swimming in the backyard?
No, I just joined swimming last year, and my favorite is butterfly.
Okay. Good luck with that, and good luck with volleyball. You're in the band, drums and piano?
Yes.
Well, you have a lot of things that you do. Which one do you like there?
I like the drums.
You like the drums a little better?
Both of them.
Okay. All right. You have two sisters, Cheyenne and Gabrielle. Tell us about them.
Well, Shy is finishing college and she's going to be a teacher, and Gabby's going on a missions trip to the Philippines this year.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
she got the Philippines that were there to sign the shirt.
Oh,
the shirt.
Cool. You like math. You have an A average. Talk about what you like about school.
School.
It's just school, but you have an A average. Well, keep up the good.
I try my best to do good.
Well, you're doing outstanding. Let's talk about your dad as a role model.
I lived to hunt with him, Pennsylvania black bear, last year with my dad. I got a couple of deer and turkey. That's what we hunt.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, great to catch up with you, Juliana. Piper Robinson joins us from Tunkhannock here on the John Mendola Show as we talk about the 11 and 12-year-olds that made it to the Little League Softball World Series. I see that you're busy. You like softball, you play basketball, and you play soccer. Do you have a favorite sport?
My favorite sport would probably be basketball.
Okay. And are you good at shooting, good at dribbling, passing? What are your attributes with that?
I just like basketball because it gives me a chance to be really aggressive.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Parker, sibling of yours.
He's 14. His birthday was not so long ago.
How do you get along with Parker?
Pretty well. Most of the time he's just in his room on his Xbox, so I don't really get to talk to him.
Typical brother-sister stuff in this day and age. We're all doing something with technology. Math and history, two subjects that you like and you have high honors. Why do you like them?
I like history because I just think it's fun to read a lot. And I love math because it's just always been my favorite.
Mom and Dad are two of your role models. Talk about why you like them or what they try to do to teach you the right way. Obviously, you're doing a lot of good things.
Well, my dad really tries hard to help me with batting and fielding, and my mom just helps me with pretty much everything too.
And talk about all the fun you had this summer with your teammates. What was this experience like for you?
It was amazing because I know I'm probably never going to be able to do this again, so it was great to do this.
How about the parade? How excited are you about that?
I'm really excited because when we won regionals, there were about 40 or 50 fire trucks and police vehicles and everything.
Well, it's going to be a lot of noise today, and congratulations on a great job.
Thank you.
Sydney Huff joins us from Tunkhannock, heading into 8th grade. Sydney, what's this experience been like for you for softball?
It's been really exciting and fun.
A lot of good talent in the infield. Take us around the infield on all the different players and what positions they play.
Well, Callie Wisnowski's the catcher and Kay Hannon's the pitcher. Paige Maribel's third base, Ella McNabb is shortstop. Hannah James is second base, and then there's me, who is first base.
And really no weaknesses there, right?
No.
That's what got you to the World Series. Talk about the competition you played against and having that confidence and eventually making it to the championship. What was that like to say, hey, we're one of the best in the world?
It was really exciting. The competition definitely got harder once you got to the World Series, and it got more difficult, but we just played our game and came back.
A lot of hard work, long practices. Was it everybody was on the same page? What was your thoughts on why your team went so far?
Everybody's on the same page, and we're all great players, and we're all really good hitters. There's no top or bottom of the lineup. Everybody hits.
Talk about being a first baseman. How tough that? I mean, you had to be kind of stretchy over there at first base, and you seem to fit the role pretty good.
Yeah.
How about at the plate? Talk about that.
I just gotta make sure that I put the ball in play and try and hit it as hard as I can to get people to score runs.
You also play field hockey. How much do you like that?
I like it. It's only my second year of field hockey.
Okay, you do some travel softball as well, probably like most of these girls. Let's talk about your parents and your high school team, why you look up to them.
Well, my parents are big role models because they teach me everything, and my dad's great at helps me with softball and stuff, and then the high school team, they're great at softball, and I just look up to them and try to be like them.
Everybody's a pretty darn good student, high honors. Keep up the good work and congratulations.
Thank you.
Hannah James joins us here on the John Mendola Show. Hannah, let's talk a little bit about what it was like for you, the experience with the softball team.
It was really fun, and I was really excited that I was a part of it. It was a great experience.
Let's talk about the bats this year with this team. And somebody always came up with a big hit, and with the ability to play for a world championship. Talk about some of the girls, and probably could go up and down the lineup, but who are some of the girls that you thought really came through with clutch hits?
Well, we really have no top or bottom, but everyone had a really big part of the lineup. But Paige Maribel had some great hits. Kaya, basically everyone had great hits. There's really no one that didn't.
You also do track and field. Talk about what events that you compete in.
I did the 4x1, the 4x4, the 400, and the 100.
All right, so you are a runner.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your brother Kenny, who's 12. What's he up to?
He used to do football, but he took a break this summer because of my commitment. So that's really all.
You enjoy language arts in school, high honors. Talk about being dedicated as a student.
I always like to put my schoolwork first, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to do this. So I always like to pay attention and do good. And your parents, let's talk a little bit about them. They're my role models. I always look up to my dad, especially. I don't know what I'd do without them, and I'm so grateful that they were able to come with me and that they joined us. And yeah. How about your coaches? Let's talk about them. They sacrificed a lot this summer, and seemed like there was a lot of positive energy from your coaches. Yeah, I'm grateful and thankful for them too, because they did put everything behind them for us, and they just are great. Okay, well, congratulations on an awesome year. Thank you. Erin Van Ness with us here on the John Mendola Show. We're at Tunkhannock, made it to the World Championship. Talk a little bit about your coaches, who really put in a lot of hard work, what that experience was like to learn from your coaching staff.
I mean, they pump us up, they do everything, they do the best they can.
Of course, with us. It's up to you girls to listen and follow through. Obviously, everybody did their job. Talk about what it was like to be part of this team.
It's definitely once in a lifetime. You don't find a team like this every day.
Represented the East, played in the World Championship. Did it sink in, for everybody?
I don't think so. We don't realize how big it actually was.
Once in a lifetime experience, as one of your teammates said. You're just heading into 6th grade, so you're young, but you're pretty darn talented. You play basketball as well. You do travel for softball. You do travel for basketball.
Yeah.
So you stay busy. Do you have a favorite sport?
Softball.
And talk about just being able to get out there and practice all the time. Is it something that you want to do on your own, or sometimes is it your parents pushing you, or you have some coaches that inspire you?
Everything. My coaches help me, my parents help me, and I just love to play the game.
You have a brother, Ryan, and a sister, Sarah. Tell us about each of them.
My brother loves to run. He does cross country and runs track. And my sister loves to play soccer, basketball, and baseball.
You enjoy math and history in school, your high honors. You're already thinking, hey, I might want to be a physical therapist. You know that already, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Let's talk about your parents and why they inspire you.
They're so helpful. They are always there no matter what.
And as far as some of the favorite memories with your journey from June till August, is there one game, one inning, one play that really stands out for you?
Hitting a walk-off single to win sectionals against Williamsport.
Okay. Well, congratulations on a terrific run. Really doesn't get any better. Erin Van Ness, thank you.
Thank you.
Callie Wisnowski joining us here on the John Mendola Show, heading into 8th grade. Callie had a tough job behind the plate. Talk a little bit about what it was like to be you.
It was cool knowing I could help my team out by framing pitches and helping my pitcher out.
Let's talk a little bit about that defense that's out there. You got to have a lot of confidence. Usually the pitcher's the one with confidence, but you have to have confidence as a catcher too. So tell us about everybody doing their job.
Well, if I let a ball by me, then I know that my team will pick me up by making the out.
How about the bats? Who were some of the big bats this year? One of your other teammates said, listen, we really didn't have any weaknesses in the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody from top to bottom did their part with batting.
I see you play field hockey as well. What position do you play there, and how much do you like it?
I play center, so it's in between defense and forward.
Enjoy it?
Yeah.
Cool. A lot of running in field hockey. And you're a member of student council. You like travel, softball. Talk about getting out there and seeing the world. I mean, this year you got to see a lot of the United States.
Yeah.
Oregon, up in Connecticut. What was that experience like for you personally?
It's cool getting to know different people and meeting their personalities and stuff like that.
English and science, a couple of your favorite subjects. You're a high honor student. Let's talk a little bit about life after high school. You have specific goals. I think it's pretty darn interesting. So tell us about what you want to do.
So I've always liked Michigan softball, so I want to go to Michigan on a softball scholarship to become a marine biologist.
All right. Well, I love that part that you have a big goal and you're going for it. Let's talk about some role models in your life.
Well, my parents, I look up to them, and then the high school teams, specifically at Haley Farr. And
as far as the camaraderie with this group, talk about some fun things that you and your teammates got to do along this whole ride, June, July, and August.
Well, after games, we usually go out to eat as a team, and we bond. And we went sightseeing in Oregon, and we did a lot of that together.
All right, Callie, well, congratulations. What a fantastic season. We wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Serenity Kerr joining us from Tunkhannock. Serenity, let's talk about the fun that you had this summer with this group of girls.
I had a lot of fun playing on this team, and I didn't think we were going to make it as far as we did, and I was glad that we did because it was a really good experience.
Let's talk about, for you, being at the plate and doing your job along with the rest of the girls in the lineup. What were the bats like for this team?
We could get our bats going, and that was good for us because if we were down a run or two, we could always get up, especially against Williamsport. When we were down a few runs, we could get up pretty quickly.
How about supporting each other and trying to have positive energy? What was that experience like to just say, hey, you could get it. We're going to get 3 runs here. I know we could do it.
Yeah, especially when we got down against Williamsport. We didn't keep our heads down, and when we did, we would always try to pick each other up, especially in the dugout cheering. If someone was stressed at the plate or something, we'd always be in the dugout just cheering them on.
Well, I know you like to be a leader in school with some student council, and of course you like language arts, high honor, so you're doing a great job there. Life after high school, you thinking of going to college?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you have 2 siblings, Jackson and Kayla. Tell us about both of them.
Well, Jackson, he's my 7-year-old brother. I love him a lot. He drives me insane sometimes, but other than that, I love him. And then Kaylee, she's my little sister. She's a pain in the butt most of the time. She rathers Alexis over me sometimes, but that's okay.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good stuff. I love the stories with the siblings. I had the same thing. So you'll grow up and everything will be great one day. Let's talk about your mom and why she inspires you.
She used to be a pitcher, and I'm a pitcher too. So when I go to pitching practices and all that, she always tries to support me, especially in my at-bats and stuff like that. She definitely tries to keep my head up along with my dad.
How about your coaches? Talk about what they were like and them teaching you things and then trying to encourage everybody.
Yeah, I love my coaches. They're really good. They always support everybody, especially me.
and they try to teach us everything we need to know, and they've got us pretty far.
Yes, they did. Well, you girls got yourself far as well. Serenity, congratulations on a wonderful year.
Thank you.
Alexis Gilroy joining us here on the John Mendola Show as we continue the conversation with Tunkhannock 11 and 12-year-old softball team. Made it to the Little League World Series. For you, let's talk about the emotions of, hey, we're going to move on. We might not move on. I hope we move on. What was the ride like to make it all the way to Oregon?
It was really exciting because 2 years ago when I was on the All-Star team, we didn't make it past. We made it to regionals, but we didn't make it any further. So when we won regionals, I was really excited, and
it was really awesome. It was really awesome, right? It was a fantastic year. Talk about the people in the outfield. Who plays where?
Lena, she plays center field, and Aaron plays left.
And you play right field?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about field hockey, another sport that you do.
I played field hockey last year for the school. I liked it, but I played it to get me ready for softball, like to stay active.
Good. It's always good to stay busy. Boy, you have a big family, so there's busyness there. Take us through all your siblings that you have.
Josh, he's the youngest out of our family. He's 8. He was on the boys all-star team, and Emily, she's 18. She just turned 18, and so did my sister Diana. Emily and Diana share the same birthday. And
oh, that's cool.
Danielle, she went to college to be a marine biologist.
That's neat.
My brother Matt, he just got married a couple weeks ago, and then Cassie, she played on the All-Star team last year, and
I think we got everybody. You're on the honor roll, you like language arts. Let's talk about college down the road. You're thinking about, what kind of career are you thinking right now?
I want to be a surgeon, or if I want to play softball in college, I want to go to Penn State.
All right, so Penn State, surgeon, big plans, big goals. Let's talk about your mom and why she's so great and why you look up to her.
I look up to my mom because she's always there when I need someone to talk to, and she helps me with stuff that's troubling me.
And we all got issues, and it's great to bounce it off somebody. So, Alexis, we appreciate your time. Great to hear from you, and keep it going, okay? Jason Wisnowski joining us, one of the coaches here for Tunkhannock. And Jason, what a ride it's been. You guys have lives at home, you know, a work life, a family life, a softball life. Talk about being able to try to hold it together with all these things going on this summer. It was a great experience, but still probably stressful in some ways.
It was a little stressful. Thank God I work at a family business. My dad allowed me to be here with my daughter and her teammates, so that part worked out really well. But it has been a pretty stressful ride.
The community was so tremendous. A lot of local businesses, people. Talk about that support. A once-in-a-lifetime thing where somebody's giving you $20 or $200 or $37, whatever they could, to make it right for these girls.
The community was amazing. They stepped up more than I could ever dream of. They are the reason that the parents and siblings could go on this trip. There was multiple families that could not make it. They were not going to be there. This community stepped up more than I could ever dream of, and all the families and siblings got to go and participate in this amazing experience.
About the bond that you had with your coaches. Talk about what it was like. You guys, I'm sure you're bouncing stuff off each other, and you know, having somebody look at something and watch something and scouting, and there's a lot to it.
The three of us work really well together. Tim and I are really good friends. Bill Huff, he's a good friend also. Tim and I bounce stuff off each other all the time. Bill's kind of like, he has his own personality and his own ideas, so the three of us work really well together.
It's hard for three people to get along at anything, so it's great to hear. Let's talk about the ladies. The young ladies were tremendous. I've got a chance to meet them. Just an incredible group.
They are a once-in-a-lifetime group. There's not very many times where this 13 girls can come together and do what they did. They're amazing. They're phenomenal athletes for being 13 years old, wise beyond their years. I mean, super proud of them all.
Some of these girls just going into 6th grade, so they're young. And for them to be on that stage, obviously some of the girls, whether it's 7th or 8th, let's talk a little bit about the cohesiveness defensively and offensively, saying, hey, we don't have a weak spot in our lineup. Like, they're confident, like, to know that, you know, whether it's this girl's going to get a hit or that girl, this girl's going to make a play. Again, that's what made your team go so far.
Absolutely. Interviewers always asked him what our strengths were, what our weaknesses were. We don't really have a lot of weaknesses. They're from 1 through 9, even our subs, they all are solid. We're solid defensively, offensively, pitching is phenomenal. So I mean, they are a quote-unquote perfectly well-rounded team. Like, it is, they're amazing.
The positive energy from the coaches seem to really make a difference. You're on that national stage, you're getting together with your group, hey, we need a run here, let's get a run, let's get some people on base. Talk about what that felt like to see the girls respond.
I get pretty emotional and get pretty crazy out there. I know Tim is a lot more laid back, so that's a nice combination. He's the more calm one. I'm jumping up and down, going crazy. So I think they feed off that. They definitely fed off me. I know that. I was kind of the one to get them pumped up, get them ready for the game. But like I said, it's the 3 coaches. It's just everything just came together. Everything came together perfectly.
Well, congratulations. Incredible season, and great to catch up with you, Jason.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Tim Hannon with us here on the John Mendola Show, talking about Tunkhannock making it to the Little League Softball World Series in Portland, Oregon. Hard to believe. You and your team, your coaches, the community. It was a team. It was a group effort, right? Amazing year for this team, and once in a lifetime.
Absolutely. It was a team effort from the beginning of the season in terms of these kids working hard at practices, putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort. Their parents coming and bringing them to everything, giving up a lot of their summer to drag those girls around to softball tournaments and hotels and whatnot. To the employers who gave our coaches and family members times off of work. I haven't heard of any situations where people really were given too much of a difficult time with that. And then you have a community here that's been over the top in terms of being generous in donations and helping our families and parents get there, and just rallying around us, supporting us the whole time we were there. It's been awesome. You're
just this, small coach in a small town and a small community, and people look at Tunkhannock and the experience of playing Canada and teams from all over the world. Take us through the whole thing when you're going out to Portland, Oregon, and getting to meet these people and being on that national stage and ESPN and I guess it was just kind of like a dream. Like is this really happening?
Absolutely. I mean, it started even at Bristol. You get the experience with being on ESPN and playing against the state champions from all the other states here on the Northeast Coast. So when we got to Bristol, we had a little bit of a taste of what we were going to experience. But it's when you get to that level and you get to that stage, it's almost unbelievable. It's kind of unreal to sit and think that you're playing against now a country. You're playing against Canada. You're playing against Europe or Mexico or it was fun to see the kids interact with other kids from other countries, especially the language barriers there where they're not speaking the same language, and talking through interpreters and just kids figuring it out. And those are memories that I'll remember. Awesome time, awesome experience all the way around. Just more than just softball.
Why was it Tunkhannock? Was it you had some coaching, you had some playing, you had some parent support, community support. Why did it happen? That you're able to play in the World Championship against a team from Ohio.
We have a great system here. It starts when our kids are younger, all the way up through high school. There's a lot of people involved in getting those kids, physically ready to play at that level. But you have a lot of kids who are just self-driven. They want to be there. They want to come to practice. They want to work. They put in the extra time. It's not just picking up their glove in April and putting it down in June. They play all year round. They practice all year round. But you've got a group of kids who are motivated, who were excited about it, who all got together and said, this is what we want to do, and they all worked towards the same goal as a team, and that's how they ended up where they did.
Of course, you have a daughter that had to be pretty darn hungry on that mound. What were your nerves like? Because you had to have nerves for her.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody who as a parent of a pitcher knows, when they're on that mound, they're touching the ball in every single play. So their mistakes can be magnified at times, and she's one, as a lot of pitchers are, where they take a lot of things to heart. She doesn't usually take a lot of credit for when we win. She doesn't really feel that she won the game for us. But when we lose, she often feels like, you know, she should have done something better or should have done something differently. So obviously you got nerves and stuff going through you. You want them to be successful. Thankfully for her, you know, she holds it together pretty well out there on the mound. I couldn't be more proud of her and the efforts that she put out there, and she did a great job.
Coach, congratulations. Awesome season. Life-changing, I'm sure, for you and for the girls.
Absolutely.
Bill Huff joins us here at Tunkhannock, one of the coaches. Bill, talk about your role. What did Jason and Tim have you do and said, listen, Bill, this is what you're in charge of, you know, base runners, food order, outfielders, what did they tell you how to do?
Primarily, I took care of the girls in the dugout, so any advice I could give them in the dugout, whether it be fielding or base running, or when we're sending them up to the plate, because they were, of course, the third and first base coaches. So that was my primary role, is just to keep them under control, keep their heads in the game, and stay focused.
Jason hit on the part of the three of you got along so well, you and the other coaches. Talk a little bit about that bond and something, you know, whether it's at work or at home, that teamwork. It's not easy to pull out three people, so take us through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been doing this for years. We've all coached together at some point in the past, including Coach Maribel, of course, who has the junior high team. Me and Mike have worked together a lot. Those have worked together a lot. Jason's coached with me and Mike before, and vice versa. So it's not something we haven't done before. So it was pretty natural, really. It wasn't like we just came together for this all-star team and worked together. So it's pretty natural. Community support, tremendous from your heart. Tell us about what you're feeling right now. I'm sure you're pretty darn proud. Yeah, very proud. The community support is just unbelievable. I mean, my phone at the end of the game would be 80–90%, and by the time I could get to the car in the parking lot, it would be out of battery life. Just be responding, just saying thank you to, you know, all the well wishes that were coming, and you know, just the support and the talk about the girls and, you know, everything that was going on. So it's very good. Representing the East, playing in the World Championship. Talk about the roller coaster of, okay, do we belong here? And kind of going out in that first game, and then game number 2, and then you start feeling a little bit more, seeing some of the competition. I guess reality came as, hey, you're one of the best in the world. Yeah. I mean, I guess by the time we got to the World Series, I didn't go through that as much as I did, even as much as after we won districts and sectionals, we headed to states, and I didn't know what to expect there, and we rolled through it. You know, I won't say easily, but we weren't seriously challenged for it. And you know, I said, well, we're going to go up to Connecticut, and you know, we'll see what happens up there, and I don't know what to expect. And we definitely were challenged a lot harder, but we were one of the more dominant teams there. So actually heading to the World Series, I was starting to feel, you know, confident that, hey, we keep progressing and moving to each tournament, and you know, we've done very well at each one. So I was more confident actually going into the World Series than I was some of the other tournaments, because they showed me repeatedly that they could do it.
Well, the family bonding experience for everybody had to be off the charts. Talk about getting to know families on a different level from spending so much time with them.
Yep. Again, there's some new families that were a lot of fun. Some of this of course, we won states at the 9-10 age level in 2016. So we've spent summers before with some of these families, and we all get along great. We did back then 16, 17, and 18. So it was pretty easy, and some of the newer families that weren't involved back then that came along were a great fit, and we just had a lot of fun even after the games and on excursions, and just sitting by the pool at the hotel. We all had a lot of fun together.
Well, Bill, we appreciate you, your coaches, the ladies. The parade is getting ready to start here. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.